Authorities in India say they have recovered 270 bodies from the site of the plane crash in Ahmedabad on Thursday, one of the worst air disasters in decades. India's Civil Aviation Agency says it has recovered one of the aircraft's black boxes. The Boeing 787 Dreamliner bound for Britain's Gatwick Airport began losing height seconds after takeoff. It erupted into a fireball as it hit a residential area. All but one of the 242 people on board the flight died. Let's now speak to Jitender Bhargava. He is a former executive director of Air India and author of the book, The Descent of Air India. A question I have is, a Boeing team has arrived in India. Can you tell us about what the investigators might be examining?
You see, when a crash takes place, and this is a global practice, that the manufacturer of the plane which is involved, the airline and the regulatory agency of the country, all get together to begin the process of investigation, because the facts must be known. And a black box is the biggest device that you have for decoding to get to the facts, because this device records on the flight virtually everything that's happening, like the altitude, the load, the speed at which it's going, what is being transpiring between the commander and the co-pilot, between the cockpit crew and the air traffic controller, and what kind of instruments were they using at the time when the crash took place. So once one of the black boxes has already been recovered, so the process of decoding would begin, and that would provide some clue as to what exactly happened on the flight in the dying moments before the plane crashed and engulfed into fire, resulting in high casualties, both among the passengers on board the flight. As we all know, only one passenger survived. And then, because the plane landed on a residential building, which was a hostel for medical interns, so there have been a good many casualties, about 30 of them on the ground this time, because it was adjacent to the boundary wall of the Ahmedabad airport.
Now, this is the first fatal crash of a Boeing 787 Dreamliner, but there has been previously some complaints over the safety of the jet, some questions. How serious were those concerns?
You know, when this aircraft, 787, was launched, there was a whistleblower from within the Boeing company who made certain statements that this was not right, and this is what they short-circuited the system, did not get the requisite approval, and some doubts were cast. But let's put it this way, that was about 10 years ago. Since then, this aircraft has been in operation. More than 1,000 aircraft have been in operation with multiple airlines. And if in the last 15 years of its launch, 14 years to be very precise, this is the first accident take place, I don't think we can give credence to what the whistleblower had said or what Boeing may not have heeded to and not rectified the aircraft. It has a very good safety track record. One shouldn't be faulting it. So that's why it's been my plea to everyone, let's wait for the black box to be decoded and we get the real facts as to what went wrong. And I've been giving a parallel example. We all know what happened to the 737-800 MAX aircraft. Two fatal accidents, Boeing grounded the plane, and after rectifying all the faults, the delivery to various airlines have started. Now, should anything untoward happen with the 737 MAX aircraft, will we recall the two previous fatal accidents or say, look, airlines took delivery of these planes in spite of knowing the history, but having faith in Boeing technology that the all defects pointed out have been rectified. Likewise with the 787, I don't think we should get into the past.
Air India was criticized for its shoddy operations while under state control for decades. Very quickly, it was recently sold to Tata Group, an Indian conglomerate. Were things improving under new ownership?
Yes, it's a reality. You see, we must understand that in January 2022, Air India's disinvestment was completed and Tata took over control. It was a Herculean task because the airline under the government ownership had not been in a state one can say that I was proud of. And that is what prompted me to write the book, The Descent of Air India. But having said this, it's been a big, I would say, a Herculean task for the Tatas to put the airline back.
Right.
I know in Germany we don't have cricket, but there's a cricket terminology that I've often used, that rejuvenation of Air India from the state it was in when Tata took over is akin to a 5-day test match and not a 1-day cricket match.